In just 2 years, the Archdiocese of Detroit could look very different. Archbishop has now announced a major restructuring plan, one that may even include closing some churches. Right now, there are more than 200 parishes, many of them seeing declining attendance. On top of that, most active priests are over the age of 50, getting closer to retirement.
At its peak, the Archdiocese had 1.5 million members. Now that number is about 900,000. The Archbishop says it just makes sense for the church to restructure. So here to talk more about it is Father Mario Amore. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
So let's talk about that decline first, from 1.5 million people to about 900,000. What has that looked like in recent years in the churches?
Yeah, so it's obviously a decline in membership overall, but really that 900,000, when we're looking at that, it's actually much lower. So as we have annual mass counts that we look at, so our parishes submit their mass counts every year, and we have more around 150,000 people actually coming to mass regularly, supporting their parish community. So that 900,000 is a big number, but when we look more closely at our numbers, it's much fewer.
And we know that a lot of churches saw changes even during the pandemic and haven't really recovered from that point. What are some of the other factors that could be adding to the declining membership that you're seeing?
I would say generally, in our area of the United States, many dioceses are encountering the same things and going through similar restructuring processes. But in general, there's a rise in secularism in the world. People thinking that they don't need to be a part of an organized religion or attend a church, go to a church building, that is. So there are many factors that help to tell the story of the need for the restructure.
So what does the restructuring look like? This is a long process, 2 years, just to kind of get everything in order.
Right. So the process looks like one that requires and will involve a lot of feedback, so starting with our priests and then moving into our parish communities as well. So today in the Archdiocese of Detroit, we have 209 parishes, and part of getting that feedback is to have 2 listening sessions in each of those parishes. So in the springtime, we'll have 418 sessions where parishioners from every parish can come and give input into the process.
And some of these churches have been around for such a long time, so I know that that's part of the process too, getting that public feedback in terms of which ones see a closure. Is that something that you're looking at as well, just in terms of naming which ones you may choose?
In time, that will happen. Because we do need to right size, if you will. And so we're trying to be very, very transparent from the very beginning that it's not possible that church buildings will close, but church buildings will close. We don't know which ones yet. Every one of our parish communities has a rich history. They have beautiful people coming and ministries that are happening. And so those are conversations that are always very difficult and require great pastoral care. But we will come to a point where those kinds of conversations will have to happen. And really, they're meant to start happening throughout the process. And they'll take different iterations, and based on feedback, it could change and will change over time.
We don't know which ones will close yet, but many churches are connected to schools. I think a lot of people have questions as well about churches that have cemeteries and a lot of history. Are those, I don't want to say fair game, but could those potentially be closed?
So one of our most frequently asked questions over the past few days has been about our parishes with schools. And so schools are not part of this process because we're looking at the parishes. Our schools are ministries of the parishes, so we need to be sure that our parishes are functioning at the best level that they can, and then we'll start looking at the ministries. And we want to give every parish a fair shot. And so if we're looking at it through the perspective of the school, that impacts the way in which some might view whether a parish community is viable or not, or needs to be there. So we want to give both the parish and the school the ability to be looked at fairly. And so that's why we're separating them. It doesn't mean in time we won't need or might look at our schools, but for this process, no. Similarly with cemeteries, if a parish was to close or to merge, those cemeteries would become the responsibility of the new parish community, and the diocese is always looking at how we provide that perpetual care for our cemeteries that are attached to parishes, and so those who have loved ones in those cemeteries have nothing to worry about.
Okay. All right, Father Mario Amore, thank you so much for being here. I know this will be a long process. I'm sure we'll have more questions and more answers as time goes on.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.